Cool.
All right, every now and then you work the red carpet down at the Super Bowl and you meet somebody that's up and coming, somebody that's a star in his own right. Souljah, how you
Yes,
doing,
sir.
man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Go by the name Jahsoul. How y'all doing? How you doing, man? How
So,
you doing?
Jahsoul, we had a chance to meet on the red carpet at the Super Bowl. I gotta say, New Orleans was perfect weather. There was a perfect day. It was perfect except for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, man. It's crazy how that turns out. That's honestly like I'd be lying if I said I wasn't ready for it. I'm happy. I'm happy it happened. Jalen came out and did his thing. Honestly, like the Chiefs are a great team. Don't get me wrong, bro. The Chiefs are fire, but at the same
They
time,
are, but I think they looked hung over. Like they just not did not come to play. Patrick had his
yeah.
worst game ever. I
That's
mean,
that's the worst I've seen all of them perform. Like again, they're a phenomenal team, but like that was embarrassing, man. That was crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
well, not only that, but the defensive line for the Eagles was just abusing
Dogging them,
defensive linemen
dogging them.
of Kansas
Crazy.
City. Yeah, it was like watching men slap small children around. It was
It was borderline abusive, man. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy.
so talk a little bit about what New Orleans did for you during the Super Bowl. What did you get out of that?
Man, honestly, like I'm from Baton Rouge, so New Orleans is a well, I currently stay in Baton Rouge. New Orleans is a frequent for me. I feel like that's like when I went out there, we was both at the same event, that's probably the most orderly I've seen New Orleans in a long time. Like there was no weird smells, there was nothing, no crazy stuff going on. It was really, really nice. I feel like the Super Bowl brought something really great to the city this year. It was phenomenal. The air was great, smelled like food in the air. Everybody was in high spirits. It was great. It was
It
phenomenal.
did smell good. I will say I've been
Right?
before,
Yeah.
and I've literally smelt the smell of urine and shit everywhere.
Bodily
So
fluids. It's
it
like
was,
mini New York. It's
yeah.
crazy.
The one thing that kind of bothered me about my trip down there, I literally said to myself the second I landed, I said, somewhere over the next 3 days, I'm going to find a great bowl of fucking jambalaya. And I
Oh
got
yeah.
busy and I went
Oh
to this
yeah.
party and that party and this private party. And by the way, just FYI, Shaq, if you're listening, that fucking place you threw your party at was the straight up ghetto. Do not, what the fuck were you thinking about, man? That place had
Oh
like
man, was that bad?
hookers in front. Yeah, it was a bad. It was at the wharf, like it was at this big warehouse right by the water. And
Mm.
Shaq, your people fucked up big. That was a bad place.
Yeah.
But yeah, the one thing I didn't get to do when I was down there is grab a big bowl with some warm rice of fucking
Missed out,
authentic
man.
jambalaya.
Yeah, man. You missed that shoot. You could have walked around the corner and got that, man. I ain't gonna
It's so
lie.
weird. I kept thinking of him. I'm like, oh, I'll do it later. I'll get it tomorrow. I'll do it later. I'll do
Yeah, yeah.
think you're like it's going to be easy to find. And then when I was on my way out of town, I said, "Fuck, I got to find a place." And then I went and asked somebody. I'm like, "Well, I don't know any place." I'm like, "How do you not know any place?" Like, just pointing me in a direction. Got it. I go on the app. I look around. There's like fucking nowhere that sells jambalaya, and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, and it's also one of them things, New Orleans is like, how there'll be certain spots that you'll go to where everybody's like, they know a spot, but it's not very well known. Like it's very hole in the wall. You got to go there to
That's what I
get
wanted
like,
to. I wanted to find that spot, that
yeah,
one
yeah.
spot.
Now that I can see, that's kind of hard to find last second. That's
I
kind of
will say
hard to
one
find.
thing. I found this one spot called Ruby Sunday or something, or Ruby the. You know what I'm talking about? It's a
Ruby
breakfast.
Slipper, Ruby
Ruby
Slipper,
Slipper,
Ruby
yeah.
Slipper. Yeah, Ruby Slipper.
Hands down, best biscuit I've
Fire,
ever had in my life. One of the
fire.
best pancakes I've ever had in my life. Hey, yo, whoa, whoa. I think we're under attack from the Amazon driver. But at the end of the day,
Yeah,
hands
yeah.
down, best biscuit I've ever had in my life. Now,
They're good. Yeah.
to their credit, they go through 2.5 million biscuits a year. So there's literally no way they could fuck up a biscuit.
That's a fact, man. The Ruby Slipper and there's another spot too. It's called. They have. There's two different like they have two different restaurants, but underneath the same franchise. It's called a Broken Egg Cafe, and there's another one called. It's literally called Another Broken Egg Cafe. Fire! Yeah, it competes with Ruby Slipper. It's up
Well,
there.
Ruby Slipper did something I'd never had before, and they did this like tray where there's like three um Benedicts on
Yeah,
they use the biscuit instead of the muffin. That was amazing. Like
I gotta try that. I
zero
have to try
chance
that.
I go back to New Orleans and don't hit that place hard. Like next time I'm gonna starve myself for breakfast. And I'm gonna pound that place. I'm gonna get a but I'm gonna get a pancake. I'm getting the fucking three Benedicts. I'm gonna hit that
You gotta
place.
get some beignets, bro. You gotta get some beignets. Beignets
Okay,
are
so
fire.
I gotta watch my sugar intake, and I had a
Yeah.
chance to do the beignet thing, and I just had to say no because it didn't really seem like it was one of those things that was gonna be a life-changing beignet. It was like in a white bag, and it just seemed
Yeah.
like an average beignet. Like, so if I'm gonna go for a beignet, it's got to be like a really good beignet. It's got to be a game changer.
I feel honestly, I hate to. I know I'm probably gonna get chastised for this, but in all reality, I'm not the biggest fan of beignets. They're good. They're good. Like,
Okay,
but
so
I could never really like crave
I
them.
I gotta tell you something. There's a place called something Onair, Honaire. It's like a donut shop by my house out here,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's got like a whole New Orleans theme to it. And they do beignets, but they jam those bad boys with Nutella.
I see that. That's a game changer. Now that's different. That's different. Now that I would go for that. I would crave that. I would
Listen,
crave that.
when they give you those little fuckers and they're warm and you literally take one bite and the Nutella's warm and the dough is warm, that I'm
Get the
not
little
shitting you. That's
Nutella drip when you pull it
oh
back. Ooh, come on
it's
now.
yeah. It's yeah.
Yeah.
That place, she crushes it. She's good.
Yeah,
And
I
she
don't know
does
if we have. I don't even know if people, if places like really fill them like that out here. I don't. I'm gonna have to look for that because that
I don't
sounds.
think they do because everywhere I've gone else to get like a beignet, it doesn't have like Nutella filling. But this girl,
Yeah.
she jams that Nutella thing right in there and fills it up. And it's like, I'm not kidding you. It's like
Jesus.
it's warm Nutella surrounded by warm beignet.
It's like a. It's
I'm not
like a
kidding you.
dessert.
It's
It's like a
crazy
dessert
good.
pizza roll. Right.
It's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's a beignet Nutella pizza roll. That's exactly.
Nah, that sounds delicious, man. That sounds delicious. I might have to try and do some homemade type of action with that. That's phenomenal.
Are you coming out to Vegas anytime soon?
Ah, man, I would love to. I have nothing planned to come out there anytime soon, but for that, hey, I'll have to line
How
something
would
up.
you like to? It's not a huge budget, not a big audience,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there's an event that I'm emceeing and not emceeing, I'm producing. And it's the American Blackjack Tour. It's
Ooh.
at the HyperX Arena. Are you familiar with the HyperX Arena?
Not particularly, no.
Think of a large gaming arena. It's like it's
Okay.
insanely large and big
Okay.
screens, a lot of computers, and it's basically the first live and online blackjack tournament ever in the history of mankind. And but
Wow, that's
it's got a
big.
stage with a big digital screen behind it.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
thought to myself, okay, the event ends at 5. How about we just give people 2 hours of live entertainment and food and drinks and literally let them hang out, and then we'll go have dinner. People can go have dinner afterwards. So there's a little a chance and opportunity for you to perform live. Not a big crowd, but the optic is crazy
A
good.
performance is a performance. Hey, yeah. Yeah, I'd be cool with it. I got to get with my people. We'll see. Yeah, I'd love to do that. I 1000%. I'd be honored for that opportunity, man.
It's happening in April. You got two
Mhm.
months, with just plenty of time to plan for it.
For sure.
And we don't have anyone currently. And I thought to myself, wow, that might be a cool like optic.
Hey,
That'd be a cool visual.
for sure. No, that's fire, bro. That's a crazy idea. 1000%. I'd be honored to be there. So I'll
If
see
you
if we can line
go
something up.
if you go to HyperX Arena online and see
Yeah.
some pictures of it, I think you'll be like, holy fuck, this place is unbelievable.
It sounds crazy. It sounds crazy.
Think of like the largest video game arena where people are just there's desks and computers all over the place, but
Yeah.
the center stage is built for like the finals. And literally the center stage
Mm.
is a stage
Oh,
with a
so
big digital
it's like
screen.
would they be like it's like one of them huge places where they host like the tournaments and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay,
Gaming tournament stuff.
yeah. That's where Sonic Fox and all them be at. I know what you're talking
You
about. I
got
know
your
what you're talking about.
computer there, right?
Yeah, I do.
Just
It's right here.
go type HyperX Arena Vegas, and when you see like one picture, you'll be like, "Oh shit!" Like it does. I'm not doing it any justice. When you see the first picture, you'll be like, "Okay, this is crazy." They've got over $10 million worth of video equipment there. It's crazy cool.
Damn. Yeah, that's
You,
pretty.
you seeing
That's
it?
pretty, yeah.
Crazy, huh? Now, do
Jeez.
you see the main
That's
stage?
all for gaming. That's crazy.
Do you see the main stage where there's a big screen?
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, so my thinking is somebody could perform on that stage.
Perform on that stage.
We
Yeah.
could get great video optics of it, and the look would be crazy good.
Man, the lighting in there is crazy. That's yeah, that would be
The
crazy.
lighting's good. The
It's
AV,
phenomenal. I love that type of I love the RGB type of lighting and stuff. That's dope.
well,
That's
the
dope, bro.
the the video capabilities is insane. That digital sport board is great. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's dope. That's insane. Yeah, Vegas, y'all got so many cool stuff out there, bro. That's crazy.
We are the entertainment capital of the world. I will tell you that.
I believe it. I believe it. I want to see. I haven't been out there. Like, shoot, I haven't been to Vegas in like, man, it's been so long. I was way young when I went out there. I want to see the Sphere, bro. I want to
Oh,
see
I
the
was just gonna
Sphere.
say, next time you come out here, you got to make it a point. Go straight to that fucking sphere.
Yeah,
Kidding you? It's like 150, $200 for a ticket, but the experience it's unlike any experience I've ever had in my life. Like it's
I believe it, man. I've seen like videos of people at like events or like concerts inside of that thing, and it looks like I know I know cameras don't do it justice. Watching it on TikTok doesn't do it justice, but even that is captivating. Like just watching it through the
yeah,
screen is crazy. I can't imagine, dude.
it's like I said, they've done amazing things inside, and what they did with the technology, like they have the videos all like connected, and it
Yeah,
just
it's like one
it's
big
shot
LED
and
wall with
just
the
like
ball.
yeah, and all the videos basically communicate off of a big massive computer system that literally makes all that video work, and then plus their post production work, a lot of that stuff they meld the videos into a story. I'm not kidding you. Like when they go from like forest to waterfall and you see the water falling over, you feel like you just walked through a
Yeah,
forest and you feel like you're at the edge of a waterfall.
that's so cool. Like I love stuff like that. I love when like towns and cities and states do something big like that. Like that's so cool. That's so cool to me. I want to see it so bad. I would love. I feel like a dream of mine is gonna be the performance side of that thing. A
Are you
thousand.
are you going to go to the NFL draft by chance in Green Bay?
I'm not. I don't have any plans to. I got I don't know. I just might. I just might. I just might.
I'm hosting a kickoff dinner on the 23rd. The draft's on the 24th, 5th, and
Yeah.
6th. And
Mm.
I'm hosting a kickoff dinner for agents and athletes.
I'd love to be there.
The restaurant that it's at is unbelievable steakhouse. Now,
Yeah.
granted,
You
Green
got
Bay is
me.
not exactly that big of a town, so I think it's the most unbelievable steakhouse they got.
Hey, you had me at stake, man. You had me at stake. I'd love to be there. I'd love to be there.
Well,
Thousand.
where you're down in Baton Rouge. I'm sure there's probably like a 2 hour flight that gets you
Yeah,
right.
no, it wouldn't be nothing crazy. It wouldn't be nothing crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, because you
I fly straight out of. I usually fly out of New Orleans, so yeah, that's a pretty quick flight. I'm pretty sure two
probably
hours.
like it's probably like 2 hours straight north of you.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm sure I can find something with no layovers.
Talk a little bit about your music.
Yeah, man. So, my music, that's my baby, man. That's my baby. It's my little, that's my passion. It's what drives me to get up out of my bed every morning. It's something. It's been a journey, man. Like I grew up around it. I come from a line of music, so it was always being absorbed in me as a baby, and I was always listening to something, watching somebody in my family create something, stuff like that. So it was only natural until I got bit by the bug. So it's it's very eclectic. I listen to a whole bunch of different stuff. I do like I'll go from doing like trap metal to like R&B to doing hip hop because that's the stuff that I like to listen to. So I wanted to do those. I wanted to pay my respects to those genres within my own rights and my own capabilities.
Dude, buddy, if you do anything that's similar to like Enter the Sandman, that would
Hey,
Like imagine
Do it.
Enter the Sandman with
Yeah.
like an R&B feel to it. Can you imagine
Exactly.
that?
See, you got the
Like,
vision.
like,
Like
can
it's
you
stuff
imagine
like
like
that.
that intro to Enter the dun 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 that drum
Exactly.
intro, and then just have like a nice chill R&B melody. Like, can you imagine?
Right. Like that's
Can
the
you
type of
imagine
stuff
if you
that gives
did?
me goosebumps,
You
bro.
know what? I actually got to do something real quick. I got to see this.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna look for the lyrics of Enter the Sandman, and I bet you those lyrics, even though it's a hard rock song,
Yeah.
I bet you those lyrics would be they would equate well to R&B.
They would. Everything can mesh together if you know what you're doing. Like sometimes it's a stretch. Sometimes it's definitely a stretch for sure. But that's the fun in it. Like it's fun seeing what puzzle pieces fit together and which ones don't, or which one you can save for a later date. You
Well,
know,
did you see
like
my
I guarantee you the mesh for
did you
sure.
see Miley Cyrus the other night? She did
Did I
a
see
Madonna song, and she did it with a little bit of a different twist.
exactly?
Yeah,
Because
so I mean,
it's stuff like that works. Like that's the beauty of it.
like look here's the lyrics for Enter the Sandman. Say your prayers, little one, don't forget my son, to include everyone. I tuck you in, warm within. Like those lyrics, even though I know there's like a heavy hard rock
It's
music
it's
associated with
very
it,
like it's
those
nurturing.
lyrics could translate well to R&B.
Yeah, absolutely. Like imagine those lyrics. Let's say we take that song, we fast forward to the bridge of it, and let's say you repeat those lyrics, but those lyrics are still they're very nurturing. So R&B would 1,000% work. 1,000%.
Yeah,
Like that's the type of stuff I love, man.
we're off to Never Never Land.
I
I mean,
like
even though that's
mixing. I like putting things. Yeah. I like taking music that seems like they don't work and putting them together. Like that's the beauty of it.
dude, I'm sending you
Making
these
it work.
I'm sending you these
Making it.
lyrics because I bet you could play around with this and have some fun with it.
Let's do it. I'll get something back to you. See if it works.
I'm
See
telling
if
you,
it
like
works.
when you do like collaborations like that, you literally get fans of both genres. Like you'll get fans that love heavy
You
metal,
just
and you'll
said
get
something
fans,
exactly.
yeah, and you'll get fans that
You
are
just said that's something exactly I like to pinpoint, man. That's something exactly I like to pinpoint. Like whenever I do like some hip hop, or I release a hip hop song, or I release like an R&B song, I release a metal esque song or something alternative. I'm grasping fans of these genres from each different genre of music that I put out. So they'll all gravitate towards me. So if I'm not only am I captivating the hip hop fans, I'm captivating the metal fans, and the R&B fans. Like you hit that right on the nail, dude. Right on the nail.
check your text real quick. I just sent you the lyrics. Tell me what you think.
Let's see.
I bet you play with that, you come up with something cool. Or not, what do I know?
Nah, you're onto something, man. So far, you've been hitting everything on the nail, bro.
I'm telling you, if you look at those lyrics, they translate to R&B.
They do. Again, it takes. It's very nurturing. That's R&B all day, dude.
Isn't it?
R&B
Yeah.
all day
And
for
look at
sure.
the end of it where he talks, hush little baby, don't you cry. Like I'm telling you
Yeah, I see it.
that
Don't
could
say a
that could
word,
be
and
a
never
nice
mind that
R&B
noise you
song.
heard. It's just the beast under your bed, in your closet, in your head. That sounds like a Justin Timberlake song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, or Robin Thicke. Yeah, bro. You're right on the money with that, bro. Right on the money. Right on the money, man.
Talk a little bit about your roadmap ahead. And in life, if you fail to plan, you might as well plan to fail. So you got to have a roadmap. What does
I
your
like
roadmap look
that,
like?
man. So my roadmap, is to so far I've been reaching my hands into every pot of music that I can. So right now, I feel like it would be arrogant of me to say that I've mastered every craft. So I still want to keep honing, like it's every now and then I'll come across somebody that has great ideas like you just had, like those are things to keep in my mind. So I want to really, really pinpoint what I'm doing and get it down to a science and just keep moving forward, connecting with cool people, connecting with great minds like yourself and other people, and seeing, beautiful, beautiful things come out of connections like that, and connecting minds and connecting ideas, and, you know, doing these shows in different places and connecting with the people that's out there and connecting with people over the internet. Really, my roadmap right now, so far, I plan ahead for sure, but I only focus on whatever I can see as far as my hand in front of me. And right now it's connections, connections, connections. Connecting with people, connecting with minds, connecting ideas, That's pretty
So
much.
it's interesting. On March 22nd, I'm hosting a private dinner kicking off March Madness. You a basketball fan?
I love basketball. Love
Remember,
basketball.
remember Larry Johnson and
Of
Stacey
course.
Ogden from UNLV?
Of course. Of course.
Come out to Vegas. Let's have dinner with those guys. You'll have a
Let's
lot of
do it,
fun.
man. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I mean, the more opportunities I give you to come out to Vegas, you'll be out here doing a constant tour.
I know, right? Yeah. Dude, might as well give me a little spot out there or something. It'd be cool. It'd be dope. It'd
So
be dope,
talk a
man. I
little.
love Vegas.
What's your biggest passion? Do you enjoy playing music, or do you like creating music? What are some of the greatest joys that you have?
Man, in terms of music, obviously my answer would be everything about it. But if we're gonna pinpoint it, my passion is the creating process of it. Like, obviously, some people would say that they're passionate about the satisfaction that they get from finishing a project, or they're passionate about sharing it, which is also, I love that part as well. But creating is where I can pinpoint my passion for. Like, I love the process of writing. I love the process of playing an instrument. I love the process of writing the music for said instrument. I love when I make music, it feels like painting almost. So I feel like that's where like the passion lies. It's like there was this one scene when I was a kid. I used to really love the movie Ratatouille, man. And like I remember there was
Oh,
a scene
yeah, I remember that one.
love it. Yeah, there was that scene where he closed his eyes and he started like eating the food, and you could see these explosions of color in his mind and like these swirls and stuff. That's literally what it feels like to make music for me, man. So it's definitely, my passion lies in the creative process. Lighting up a candle, maybe some incense or something like that, getting in my creative zone and letting whatever I think about in my mind bleed onto the paper, bleed into the program.
Have you
That's for
learned
sure.
have you learned an instrument? Do you play an instrument at all?
Yeah, so I'm decent at playing guitar. I've been playing guitar pretty much my entire life. My dad's really, really good at it. He used to like he'd sit me down and get me to try and get my fingers to callus and stuff like that. I used to hate it. I used to hate it, dude. But I'm decent at it. I put it down for a long time. I'm definitely better at playing piano than I am guitar, but I want to get into like people think I'm weird for it, but I want to get into like like every woodwind. I want to learn how to play like a flute and oboe, and like I want
The
to learn how to play
oboe.
a violin and
Isn't the
cello
oboe the
too.
big one?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like a flute times two. You feel me? I want to learn how to play that.
Yeah, this guy wants to play the oboe.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
He,
my
wa- he
cat
wants
right
to be
here.
the first 10-pound dog. Hey, look, kitty, kitty, right there, kitty. Go straight to New Orleans. Go straight to New Orleans. Get the kitty. To the kitty.
He's
He's like,
messing up my lamp down here.
he's like, he's like, Dad, listen, I'm not messing with that cat. That cat's bigger than me.
Man, he can't be bothered. He can't be bothered.
So,
Yeah, man.
what are some of your passions outside of music? For me, I'm involved in tech, but I have a huge
Oh
passion
yeah,
for dogs. I do a lot of stuff around shelter dogs, and I think that I
that's
literally think
cool. I love
I
that.
think everyone should adopt a dog. I think if everyone
One
just.
thousand.
And by the way, listen, if you're listening to this interview and you got a dog and you move, don't give the dog to the shelter and say, "Hey, listen, I have to give this dog up." No, motherfucker. You had that dog as a puppy.
No,
That puppy goes with you. You move from here to there. That puppy goes with you. You don't go just because the dog got 7 years
right.
old. You don't give him to the shelter because guess what? When the shelter can't find him a home, that dog is dead. So you might as well just say, "Listen,
It's dead.
I'm willing to let my puppy die." And that puppy was there for you all the time. All that puppy did was love you.
It's
You move,
evil.
the dog
All
moves
he
with you.
did. I 1000% agree, dude. Like that's a commitment, and it's like even though like in all reality, if we look at it from the whole aspect, a puppy's not gonna be around your entire life, but you're gonna be
No,
around for their entire life. Like you're their whole world. You can't do that. You
no,
can't do
you
that to
can't.
them.
Like I see
You're
so
not.
many dogs at shelters that have been, given back or given up. And I think to myself, if I could just get like 30 seconds with that owner before they give that dog up and bring it to the shelter, I swear to God, I'd like literally say to them exactly this. Say, listen, you got that dog when he was a puppy, whether it's a
Right.
boy or a girl, she was like 6 months old. You loved it. She, grew up. She became one, two, three, four. Now you're moving from house A to house B, wherever the fuck house B is. Well, guess what, motherfucker? That dog's coming with you to house B. That dog is a part of your
Has
life.
to. That dog. You're all that dog knows at that point. Like that's horrible
Yeah,
to do.
you move the
That's
house,
horrible.
you move the couch, you move the chairs, you take the fucking dog with you. That dog is family. Don't give
For
that
sure.
dog up. I don't give a
For
shit
sure.
what happened. And by the way, if
Yeah,
somebody's grandma dies and they got a dog, somebody in the family adopt the dog. Don't give the
take
dog
the
up when
dog.
grandpa dies.
Yeah, yeah. For sure. I got a real soft spot for animals in general. Like I died. I don't play about stuff like that.
Oh, I saw a video
It
the other
crushes
day.
me.
Some crazy girl, like she got mad at some guy and he had these two little white dogs. She kicks a little white dog like 3, 4, 5 feet in the air. I thought to myself,
Wow.
yeah, I am 100% sure I know what I would do. 100% sure.
Yeah, yeah. I know what I would do. I know what I would
Oh,
do. That's crazy.
I'd be like,
That's
listen,
crazy.
lady, they're gonna call you no left foot
Yeah.
Nancy after you do that to my dog.
For real. For real. When you walking around with a limp,
And
permanent limp,
I always think to myself,
permanent limp.
people do that to small dogs. Like, you got a small dog or a cat that's like, I don't know, 10, 15 pounds. I mean, I don't care. Like, if you're a fat, overweight woman that's like 200 pounds and you want to kick a small animal, that makes you tough? Are you crazy?
Horrible. That's
Yeah.
hard. And they literally can't fight back. Like they can fight back, but they're not gonna do much. Like at
Now,
the
I
end of
will
the
say
day,
one thing.
they're defensive.
I got the two little guys, but I got a 129-pound Cane Corso. You want to kick a dog?
Yeah.
Try kicking him. See how that plays.
Yeah, I was about to shoot. I got a 110 pound American bully. I ain't gonna lie. He's
Oh, what's his
huge.
name?
He's
Or her
huge.
name?
His name's Hades. His name's Hades.
Oh,
I
fuck.
love him.
Never kick Hades. You go
Yeah.
straight to hell.
He's a sweetheart though. I swear he's a gentle giant. He's a
Okay,
sweetheart. Like
so
ooh,
here's the thing. My dog is 94% cute, cuddly puppy bear. It's the other
yeah,
6%.
yeah.
I always tell people to say, listen, he's got 6% Satan. So like 94% cute,
Yeah,
cuddly puppy bear,
yeah.
6% Satan. Do not forget that he's 6% Satan because if you do, he might fuck you up.
Yeah, that's kind of how Hades is. Like he's more so like he's such a sweetheart. And he'll want to like lick your face and be around you and whoop de whoop. But if you were to like if you walk too close to my car at night, he's gonna growl. Like
Well,
he's
here's the
gonna
funny thing. I had a friend of mine who was feeding Jesse, my dog, Jesse James. He was feeding him a hot dog.
mm,
He's like, "Can I give him a hot dog?" I said, "Yeah," but this idiot, I don't think he understands big dogs. He kept putting the hot dog in front of his mouth and pulling it away. And Jesse was like looking at me
yeah,
like, I'm like, "Hey, buddy, just give him the hot dog. Don't fuck with him." He's like, "Oh, I'm just having fun." I'm like, "No, trust me, that doesn't play out well." And he did it again,
yeah, you
second
can't do
time.
that.
And I could tell Jesse's hair started going up. And he looked at me and I said, "Whoa, don't eat his hand. Trust me." And then he did it a third time. He did it a third time. He pulled away. I said, "Hey, you're either extremely fucking stupid or you're not understanding his body language. Like right now, my dog wants to kill you." He's like, "No, he's
Yeah.
super friendly." The fourth time he even just put this hot dog out there, he literally got the whole hot dog and part of his hand and then snapped back and then looked at him and growled.
Ooh.
And I said, "Do you see? Do you see now? Do you see what I'm
Trying to
saying?
tell you.
Be glad
You
you
can't
got
do
a
that
thumb
with
and
big
four
dogs.
fingers." So like some
Yeah, honestly, like that's the golden rule. Like especially with dogs in general, but especially with big dogs, like playing with their food is a no. That's a
No,
no
do
no.
not
That's a
mess
no
with
no.
food or bones. Like here's another thing. He
Food
thought
or
he was being
bones.
smart right after that, he decides to go grab his bone, which was laying in the kitchen, and he was like, "Oh, let me go get this." And Jesse ran over there and said, "Excuse me, motherfucker, that's my bone." he's like,
Yeah,
unless you want to die, do not touch the bone.
I believe it. I believe it. You said you got a cane corso. That's a beautiful breed, man.
Yeah,
That's
no,
a beautiful breed.
he's a good one. He's funny thing is, I think I'm the only person that could have probably adopted him because he came back to the shelter twice. He was one day, uh, uh, that's the word. Yeah, he was one day away from the shelter, killing him, and I literally, I gave him a home, and
Mhm.
I heard in my heart that he was the right fit.
Yeah, that's how it is, man. They call to you. They call to you. That's genuinely. We have a lot of our shelters out here. They claim that they're no kill, but I don't really. I don't know. I know LSU's is for sure no kill. I can't even step foot in the shelter. Like I just want them all, dude. I want them all. I can't even, especially the older ones that's in there. It just breaks my heart. I can't do it. I can't do it unless I know. Like even if I'm going there to adopt, my own little furry companion, I feel bad walking out with one when there's still like a million of them in there. I hate it. I hate it so much, so much.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about some of your other passions, other than music.
Yeah, man. I honestly, I have a passion for real estate and like property development. I really want to like, I really want to once I have a lot more free time and I have time to really grasp onto that, I want to start developing properties. I love the process of that. Either taking a property that maybe was foreclosed or something that wasn't all that good at first, but you made it into something great, or even the process of building something. I love the process of flipping it, keeping it. I just love all things property, man. So I think that, you know, real estate and drawing would probably, but I haven't drawn anything in a long time. I used to growing up, man. That was my thing. I used to think I was so cool as a kid. I would take like pieces of paper and I would put it on my computer screen and just like find something I wanted to draw and I would trace it. I would trace it and it would be my prized possession for like a week and I would keep doing that over and over to the point where I would try to memorize what I traced and eventually it would end up looking halfway recognizable. But I loved it, man. I used to love drawing. That was my thing. But I still do. I just yeah, outside of music, it's definitely real estate, drawing, video games for sure. I've been
What's your
slacking.
video game of choice?
Whoo, man. Where do I
Do you remember?
that's the
Okay, do you remember the video game, the actual video game where it was like it was called NBA Jam, and then like if you hit three threes in a row, the ball would turn into a flaming ball, and he would
it was
scream,
turning,
"He's
yeah, but I
on
used to
fire!"
yeah, Jam was fire, but I used to like Street Volume 2 better. Street Volume 2 was my favorite. That was my favorite. Jam was fire though. Jam was
Yeah,
fire.
I'm not kidding. I used to go get a roll of quarters, and me and my friend John would sit there and play NBA Jam for fucking hours.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding. I'd launch threes just to get it to the third one where the ball was on fire. And this way, I literally you could go anywhere on the court. You can go literally at half court, shoot it from three, shoot it from half court, and because you were on fire, shit would go right in.
Yeah, bro. Fire. It was
And
fire. We
and
um we have a main event out here and they have a game. They have a game that's in that building that's almost just like it. Just like it. It's great. It's great. It's not quite it, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
what do you think about Luca going to the Lakers?
Woo! I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I don't care for Luca, nor do I care for the Lakers, or nor do I care for the Mavericks. But that made me stand up out of my seat. Like when I heard that, I'm like, what? Like y'all traded
Kind of
Luca?
didn't make sense, right? You're thinking
It
to
doesn't
yourself,
make sense. It doesn't make
yeah, like
sense at all. Like Anthony Davis is great. Don't get me wrong, but like you're gonna have to build a team around
I
Anthony
mean, don't take this
Davis.
wrong. Anthony Davis is not great anymore. He was great, but
He
he's
was
old
he's
and he's
injury
hurt.
prone, bro. He's injury prone. He's
Yeah,
injury
I
prone
mean,
now. So that doesn't make any sense.
you play as long as he has, you get injured prone. Like big guys, it's hard to stay healthy. I'll give him
Yeah,
credit, man. He stayed healthy for a long time, but he max has probably one more year left, maybe two.
I believe it. I believe it because you can't really like with Luca going to the Lakers. Obviously, yeah, they got LeBron, but that means that once LeBron is done, they can literally build their franchise around Luka. Right now, it's built around
Well,
LeBron.
here's the crazy
Now
thing.
they can build it around Luka once
But
LeBron is gone.
but they got to sign Luca. And the way California's going with taxes and stuff, Luca's actually better off signing elsewhere where he
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
keeps more of his paycheck.
That is true. That is true. But it really just determines. I mean, I don't really know. I don't know how much. I don't know where Luka's values lie. Because at the same time, yeah, he could go somewhere else to make more money.
Well, if
But you're
I'm
gonna build more of a legacy at the Lakers, though.
if you're Luca and LeBron leaves next year, maybe the year after, and they want to extend you for 5 years, you know that LeBron's gone like 1 or 2 years. Got to think to yourself, well, wait a second, who's going to be left? It's going to be me and like
That's
whatever's
true.
left over. We're screwed.
Yeah, yeah. I think that it's kind of a hard it's kind of a hard ball to call simply because the Lakers are still the Lakers.
I
They're
mean,
gonna build their franchise. Like, yeah,
don't
Luca
fool
might not have
yourself.
much to work with after that, but the Lakers they gonna handle that for sure. They
Yeah, but
always
don't
do.
fool yourself. The Lakers haven't been the Lakers since Kobe left. Like it's
That
been a
is
while.
very true. That is very true. That is
And by the
very
way, don't let's before anyone goes crazy, winning the championship in the bubble, that didn't count. That don't count. That was stupid. The bubble was stupid. Like, come on, man. I don't even want to hear that. It's so funny too because it's like, oh, LeBron's got 4 rings. No, he's got 3. The fourth one was in the bubble. We don't count the
Yeah.
bubble ring.
Not the bubble ring. I'm dead. Hey,
I
I
mean,
believe it.
nobody was watching those games. They didn't care. Nobody cared about the bubble.
It was such a weird thing. That was such a weird thing, man. That was a
Yeah.
weird time. That was a weird time.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. It was literally the most corrupt thing that ever happened in American history.
For
I mean,
sure.
they literally turned a virus that was no more dangerous than the common cold, and they money laundered trillions of dollars, and they forced people to take a shot of an experimental drug against their will. Like a lot of people.
Yeah, that's my biggest quip with it. Like, it takes I understand that as a whole right now as humanity, like we're at a crazy technological spot right now, but at the same time, there's no way that they could have pushed out a vaccine that's safe that quickly. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I don't That's crazy. Maybe now, but at the same time, you also have to look into what goes into making a vaccine. To make a vaccine, you literally have to make a vaccine with the same virus that you're trying to vaccinate yourself with. So there's no way that we came up with something as quickly as a couple months after.
Well, I mean,
That's
if you look at the
100% safe.
evidence, if you look at the evidence, the
It's crazy.
U.S. government, was funding that research that caused the virus. I mean, this was something that was
Yeah,
well planned.
I believe it. I
Yeah.
believe it. In all reality, that's the type. I usually try to around certain people, I stray away from that topic, but around the right minds, like that's definitely
Well, it's funny
I
because
believe it was planned.
we have
1000%.
certain people that are afraid to talk about things, and I think to myself, this country needs strong men to speak up because when you're afraid to speak about something, that's the time where something goes off in my head and says, "Whoa, wait a second, let's talk about that." Because guess
Right.
what?
Yeah.
If we
Yeah.
don't talk about it, we're afraid to talk about it. Probably something
That's
wrong.
something we need to talk about. Like
Yeah,
that's what we
exactly.
need to talk about, Yeah,
Like
for sure.
everyone's so freaked out about Elon finding all this fraud and waste and abuse with Doge, and everyone's like,
Yeah,
"Oh my
yeah.
God!" I'm like, "What do you mean, oh my God?" I'm like, we should be like, "Yeah,
Those
fuck
are the
yeah, way
things
to
that we
go,
should be.
man!"
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
he's finding that, and like, hey, wait a second, if you money launder, that's a crime. So there's some people that should go to jail because you can't steal federal tax dollars. That just doesn't work.
Yeah, that doesn't fly in any language.
Yeah,
Any day of the week. That doesn't fly.
currently, I can't see how we're sending $50 million worth of condoms to fucking Gaza. I don't think.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. That's a crazy pull. I'm not gonna lie. That one, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot
Yeah,
of
it's a
fucking.
crazy
That's a lot of
situation.
fucking condoms, buddy.
That's a
That's
lot.
a,
That's a lot. That's a
And,
lot, dude.
and
That is a
I'm pretty
lot.
sure those guys aren't having that much sex. Like,
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I mean, I don't know though. They might relieve some stress, I guess. I
I
don't
mean, I
know,
guess,
but
but I mean, 15, and let's be honest, who's using condoms that much? I mean,
yeah, shoot. Let's be honest, man. Let's be honest, bro. Let's be honest.
that's a lot of condoms,
That's
man.
a lot of condoms,
And the
bro.
funny thing
That's a
too
lot.
is, I think politicians think Americans are so stupid they're never going to put two plus two together. Like somebody must have said, "Listen, we're just going to ship the money over for condoms, but you ship us back. You know, we'll money launder like 40 million. You keep 10 million." And I think somebody said, "Yeah, condoms. That'll nobody will ever think that for a second that we didn't send condoms to Gaza." I'm like, "Are you crazy?"
Right.
Like,
I feel like they think like that because for the longest time, it kind of
well, did
was
anything?
like that. There was a severe disconnect between we the people and the government. It was a disconnect in the sense that whatever the government does, that's what they do. We vote, we make our decisions, yada yada yada, about who we want in office. They do the rest. We don't microscopically look at anything anymore. You feel that's how it
Yeah,
was the longest time.
yeah. Now with AI and the Doge team, we're able to find all this money laundering, these crimes, these wastes,
Pinpointed.
and we're
Yeah.
able to say, "Hey, motherfucker, we're going to cancel all these subscriptions because we got
Right.
seven
Right.
thousand employees subscribing to Politico for $39 a month. The fuck do we need to subscribe to
For
that
what?
shit for? It's free."
For what? Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I feel like nowadays things are. I feel like the veil, the veil is coming off of our eyes a lot of different ways, and that's a great thing. It's a great thing, and I feel like it's gonna cause some quakes. It's gonna cause some quakes for sure.
Listen, I got news
For
for you. When
sure.
you're $36 trillion in debt as a country, the
Yeah.
bill eventually has to get paid.
Yeah.
And people have to understand, like, listen, you can't run a country like that and eventually keep saying, don't worry, we'll just print more money, we'll print more money.
Can't do that.
Eventually,
Can't do that. Mm-mm.
eventually those $40 carton of eggs gets to people and say, hey, we got to stop this shit because I can't afford eggs anymore.
Yeah.
And here
Yeah.
I'll give you a great example. I know a single mom that lives here in Vegas. She
Mm-hmm.
works three jobs: bartender, blackjack dealer, and then a regular job during the day. She has three kids. She gets very little child support.
Dang.
She's literally working her
I'm
ass
sure.
off, and all
I'm
she's
sure.
doing is literally barely surviving. And that to me is a sad state of affairs. You look at America, we're shipping billions of dollars to a war in Ukraine we don't even give a fuck about. And
That
we
has
got
nothing to do
homeless
with it.
people everywhere. We got homeless old people. We got homeless young people. We got so many homeless people in this country.
Yeah.
That's a crisis. Oh, what's Ukraine's going on? We don't give a fuck about Ukraine. Sorry, the little midget comedian running that country, go fuck yourself. We're not interested in that shit. Let's
Yeah.
fix the homeless crisis here.
Yeah, I definitely, I'm a big believer in, and this registers on all scales of my life. Like you can't help anybody until you help yourself. So us as a country, I feel like we can't really, obviously I'm a patriot. I wholeheartedly believe that we are the best country for sure. 1000% on planet Earth, I feel like we're up there. But at the same time, we're doing ourselves so many disservices when we could be even greater.
Well,
Like
we are a great country, but if you look at cities like Philadelphia, I just got back from LA. I
yeah,
mean, I'm not going to hold any punches. LA is a fucking dumpster fire. Like
wasteland, right?
it is. I mean,
Wasteland,
it
yeah.
is just
It's
there's
horrible.
very few places in Los Angeles that are beautiful like they used to be, and you've
Mm-hmm.
got a homeless crisis there that is way out of
Out the
control.
wazoo. Out the wazoo.
Their way of solving the homeless crisis a couple of years ago was to take government money, billions of dollars, buy them tents, and give away 65,000 free tents. Well,
Yeah.
what did you fucking think they were going to do? They were going to put a tent on the fucking street, the sidewalk. You gave them a tent. They need to
We need to do
survive.
stuff with what we need to do if we're talking in terms of moving forward with LA. Like you said, there's certain things we need to address as a country so we can lower the cost of living. The cost of living in LA, it's whoo boy. If you're not making enough to sustain yourself in LA, 1 week can mess you up. 1 week can mess you up. Like LA is no joke, dude. Even the gas out there is no joke. Like
Oh
it's
yeah,
not
like
hard to become homeless out there at all.
out there, gas was at $7.15. I come back to Vegas and Sam's Club sells it for like 3.30. I'm thinking to myself,
Exactly.
where's the $4?
Everything is crazy.
And
Like a
that's
nice house out here, a nice house out here that could go for what? Say, You know, you could a $500,000 house out here, $400,000 house out here, out in LA. That's $2 million, dude. Like
Yeah.
that's crazy. That doesn't
Well,
make any sense.
I should send you this link. There's a house for 9 bedrooms, 7,000 square feet in Detroit. Needs work, but it's actually nice bones. It's got brick and everything. Selling
Mm-hmm.
it for 269. I thought to myself,
Wow.
house here in Vegas goes for 1 million. That house in LA goes for 2, 3, 4, 5 million.
Exactly, dude. Like it's almost. I honestly like. Obviously, LA is cool in terms of making connections and stuff like that. But I would never live out there. I don't see a point. Like
It's
it's
not what it used to be. It used to be a beautiful part of America.
yeah, for sure. But that cost is like for what? I'm burning a hole in my pockets when I can go because I used to stay in Dallas for a long time. I stayed
Listen,
in
by the
Dallas for
way,
like 8 years.
forget just the cost. It's fucking dangerous to live out there. Like
Very,
literally,
very.
people are getting robbed right on Rodeo Boulevard. People are getting beat up in streets. It's crazy out
Yeah, man. Because I'm from bro. I'm from all over the place. I've lived everywhere. I've lived in LA for a year. I was born in North Carolina. I stayed in Florida for like 7 years. I lived in Dallas for 8 years, and now I'm out here. By far, living in Dallas, I feel like that's probably my favorite place I've lived.
Hey, by the
Genuinely,
way,
like,
I'm going to Dallas at the end of May for an event called something Summit. Sub Summit. It's a
oh
summit.
yeah,
Anyone that does subscription type revenue, you should come out to that event. I'm throwing a private dinner,
I'll do it. I'll do
5,000
it. I love
people,
Dallas.
mostly subscription type people, people that are musicians, models, OnlyFans, anybody that has subscription revenue.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
good crowd for you. I think you'd enjoy that crowd.
Yeah, yeah, let's make it happen, bro. Let's because I love Dallas, man. Like it's like I really stayed on the outskirts of it. I didn't stay in the actual city of Dallas, but at the same time, Dallas is one of my favorite places, man.
Yeah,
And you get the bang for your buck. Like if you want a $2 million house, you're gonna get something that's deserving of $2 million. Like it's beautiful. I love it.
even down in
I love it.
Dallas, like in the suburbs, you can get for 350 a 3,000 square foot beautiful house, 2 car garage, and they
Yes.
give you land too. Like
With land, I was just about to say with land.
you're
You can
not
have
like
little
butt up
chickens running
against your
around if you
neighbor.
want. Yeah.
You got like grass and yard, and then your neighbor's like over there, not like over here.
Yeah, and I will say, like, there's some parts of once you start getting towards like the heart of Dallas, obviously it gets more dangerous. But you go to places like Allen, that's the whitest roads, whitest concrete you'll see, whitest sidewalk that you'll see. Like you get bright neighborhoods with shade, like the streets are clean, like I just said, the sidewalks are clean, and there's
Oh,
no
wait,
like
speaking of
the
streets
cops
and
don't play out
sidewalks.
there.
Speaking
Hmm?
of streets and sidewalks, what the fuck is going on with New Orleans? Like, I drove
Man.
around in Ubers and it was like the streets are like boom, boom, boom. I'm like, what the fuck?
You know why? You want to know why it was like that, man? It was because they just recently they took off layers of the road. They took off layers of the road
Oh,
right
I'm
before
telling
the
you, like
Super
you guys
Bowl.
got fucked up streets even without the layers law. Like
Oh
it's
yeah, no, we do, we
buckled.
do.
And, yeah, you guys got to fix those streets. Like seriously,
Yeah, yeah,
like
it's
somebody's
bad.
got to like I don't know what they're spending the money on, but they should spend a little money on the sidewalk. Like even the
That's how
sidewalk.
it is for a lot of places. Again, I'm not exactly in New Orleans. I'm about an hour away, but like our roads out everywhere's roads are messed up. Like, my car is lowered, so it sucks. You feel me? Like the amount of times I'll be driving, I just hear it's like I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
That's crazy. You almost got to go get yourself like a truck and get
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, I have a Jeep, man. That's my baby. I love that Jeep.
the
Love
Jeep.
it.
It's
Yeah,
I see a ton of what do you have like the Jeep Wrangler or what kind of Jeep?
yeah. I got a Wrangler. I got a Wrangler.
I'm
Yep,
not kidding
smooth
you. I
ride.
see those all over in Vegas, and people like take
Yeah,
the top down and the doors off during the summertime,
life changer.
and I like it, and it looks good. But I always think to myself, 80 grand for it just seems like where's my money going? Like, I mean, give me a nice SUV where it's air conditioned, leather seats. That Jeep is like, I thought to myself, 80 grand for that?
I mean, bro, it's worth it, man. I'm gonna be honest. Like driving a Jeep, I'm so used to driving like that. Jeep's the first kind of heavy duty car I've ever had for myself. Like I had a while ago, I had like a Camaro. Like I'm used to driving real low cars. Like cars that aren't really meant for doing like heavy duty. That Jeep changed my life. Like being able to get to places like being able to drive over a curb or like some people, there's a spot out here called Tigerland. It's like it's where all the college students they have like the strip of bars or whatever. Tigerland's roads are so messed up, but you kind of have to go through Tigerland to get to some parts of the city. And there's some of the deepest potholes you will ever see in your life in Tigerland. Whenever I'm in the Jeep, I have no worries. I just go right over it. Like, I love it. I love it. And then you get comfort. You get the leather seats. You know, you get a phenomenal air conditioning and a non-problematic car. You know, the only thing that sometimes Wranglers get the little death wobble, but at the same time, it's phenomenal, man. It's a great car. I love Jeeps as a whole. I love like Wagoneers. A Wagoneer is probably my favorite, like huge car. I love Wagoneers. I love Jeeps, man. I'm a Jeep guy.
Wagoneer. That's like the SUV, isn't it? That's the old.
Yeah, yeah. It looks like a Lincoln or like a Cadillac, but yeah, it's a Jeep. Phenomenal. I love it. I love
All
it.
right, so listen, we got to do this again sometime soon.
For
I
sure, man.
I like to leave people with something inspirational. So if you had to tell somebody something inspirational, something that would get them off their ass to chase their dreams, get them past their fears, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that right now there's a future version of yourself that's begging you to do something that you haven't done yet.
That's
So get
awesome.
it done.
That is awesome. Yeah, there is, people forget, in 10 years, ask your future self, what would you have done differently? And I guarantee you,
Exactly.
he would, that future version of yourself would say, listen, get off your ass and chase hard.
Sure. Like you're that future version of yourself from yourself 5 years ago. I guarantee you there's something that you wish you did 5 years ago that you're kicking yourself over right now, you know?
Bitcoin, baby. That's the
That
only
keeps me
advice I can
going.
give you. The future self, your future self will love you for every dollar you put into
For
Bitcoin.
sure. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. 1000%.
All right, my friend,
1000%.
let's chop it up again soon. Hold on 1 second. Let me get this recording to stop. Say goodbye to everyone. Tell them where they can find you too.
Hey, you guys can find me on I go by the name Jah Soul, Jahsoul on all platforms. It's all Jahsoul. Come chop it with me. Come check me out. I guarantee I'll have something for you, and I'll keep you impressed. I'll try my best to. Try my best to, man. I'm honored for the opportunity. Thank you to my friend Chris Double C. You feel me? I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate
Do it
you.
again.
Hold on 1 second, man.